We're talking about 3-year-olds today. Toddlerhood is often referred to as the first adolescence. It's a busy stage that bridges infancy and childhood, and there's so much that kids need during this time. So joining us now to discuss this important developmental time is Jenny Evans from the Parenting Center. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. I'm always happy to talk about my favorite age.
Oh, this is your favorite age. Why is that?
It really is. So we're really talking about kids from about 18 to 30 months, right? And they're bridging during this developmental stage. They're going from infancy, where everything is done for them. You know, when you picture them, they're right here. They need to be held, they need to be fed, they need to be comforted, to the preschool developmental stage where they're all out there. It's all about the initiative and the curiosity and the play. So this toddler stage is this huge bridge. Like, think about how much it must take to get from that, you know, completely trusting the adult caregiving that they're getting to wanting to be out in the world and have all this initiative. So it's just a really important time for building confidence and that sense of independence and autonomy that toddlers need, a lot like teenagers.
Awesome. And for some kids, they're in daycare already, but this is really where you set the stage for the interactions they'll have when they do go to school.
Right. Whether they're in school or not, there's so much that parents can do to enhance the development of their toddler. So you can think about it in a couple of ways. Probably, and Eric was saying earlier, the common words of me, mine, and no. Well, this is a boom for language development. Even before your children are talking, they're learning through receptive language. So like birth to 3 is when they're getting the language connections in the brain that they're going to need. So you want them to hear narrative and creative and fun and interesting language. If the most powerful words they hear from you are no and me and mine, or don't touch, then those are the things that they're going to say most often. So the more we engage in narrating our trip to the grocery store or talking about the things that we see and feel, the more interesting, like, doesn't mean they're going to use it all now, but when they do talk, the more interesting things they'll say.
Yeah, I like that. So instead of saying no, you kind of tell them what they can do instead.
Exactly. You can say, whoa, that's not safe, but let me show you what you can build with over here. Or let me show you. And that actually, once you get off of that and focused on some of the areas of development, you realize how much there is to do, there is going on. So think about like brain development, which is so important right now. You've probably heard that kids learn through play. And the reason that's true is because cognitive connections happen best in an environment where children feel safe, where they feel some control, where they are able to imitate, where they can explore. So the things that get in the way are a lot of restriction. If you make the game about what can I get past the adults in my life, then that becomes the game. But if you create an environment where they can explore within safe limits, they'll get more engaged in that. So it's important even for school readiness and learning for your toddler to be able to explore and to play.
Nice. And I imagine this can be a very trying time for parents, but I know you want to stress that the relationship with your toddler is what helps you get through this. So you want to keep things fun.
Exactly. You want to find the times to connect. So rather than being on eggshells and waiting for your opportunity to correct your toddler, focus on the hills rather than the valleys. Make sure you have time, whether it's during mealtime or a walk or just some relaxed time on the floor to play. Make sure you find that time to connect, because your relationship is actually the most powerful parenting tool you're going to have. Not your ability to say no or discipline or guide. It's that relationship that's going to count through all of the rough patches that you hit as you're parenting. So be sure to connect.
Yeah, and try to enjoy that time. I don't have kids yet, but I do love 3 and 4-year-olds. I think they're just so much fun to talk to. All right, Jenny, thanks so much for joining us this morning.